Welcome back to Poorly Educated Today in the News, the only show bold enough to look America right in the eye at 7 in the morning and say, "Buddy, you ain't ready for all this nonsense." Today's headlines look like somebody shuffled a national security report, a Walmart receipt, and a fever dream from a redneck uncle who thinks the Weather Channel is run by the Illuminati. So grab your coffee, your Copenhagen, and maybe a prayer. We going in. Segment 1. America rebrands the military like it's a Monster energy drink. All right, y'all, first up, the United States government decided the Department of Defense wasn't hardcore enough, so they slapped a fresh coat of paint on it and renamed it the Department of War. Because nothing screams Christmas spirit like a $2 billion rebranding project that basically says, "We ain't defending nothing, we throwing hands." Pete Hegseth is out here grinning like a man who just got a new zero-turn mower on Black Friday. Meanwhile, rednecks everywhere are confused because we were pretty sure the Department of War never actually stopped being the Department of War. It's like changing the name of moonshine to aggressively flavored water. The effect is the same. It burns going down, and it's probably illegal where you live. Segment 2. Tanker chasin', boat season, and the Caribbean chaos rodeo. Next up, the Department of War is out here treating the Caribbean like a NASCAR track for oil tankers, except instead of Dale Earnhardt Jr. We've got Coast Guard cutters playing bumper boats. They're tracking a third suspicious tanker, because apparently Venezuela's been trying to sneak oil around like teenagers sneaking beer into a church picnic. These are high-stakes interdictions, but rednecks everywhere are impressed because the Coast Guard is finally doing something besides rescuing drunk dudes who fell off pontoon boats. President Trump is teasing a 4:30 p.m. announcement like it's some kind of Marvel post-credits scene. I swear, if he walks out wearing aviators and a War.gov hoodie, I'm tapping out. Segment 3. The 43-day government shutdown, aka the nation's longest coffee break. Now let's talk economics. The Federal Reserve is out here making decisions using data so outdated it might as well be written on a Waffle House napkin. That 43-day government shutdown created a data fog, which is fancy economist language for, we have no idea what's going on. They cut rates by 25 basis points because half the Fed thinks inflation is too high. The other half thinks the economy is a possum playing dead, and everyone's just praying the Santa Claus rally doesn't give way to the December dumpster fire. Meanwhile, the redneck community is confused because we thought basis points were what you get when you return fishing gear at Bass Pro. Segment 4. OBBBA. One big beautiful bill or one big beautiful boondoggle, on to the next circus tent. The One Big Beautiful Bill Act. Yes, the OBBBA. Sounds like something you yell when you choke on a pork rind. This bill brought tariffs higher than the price of eggs during the chicken shortage of 2023. It also added the Warrior Dividend, $1,776 checks for service members. And let me tell you, every redneck across America is wondering why their Uncle Randy, who once served 6 months in the National Guard Color Guard unit, isn't getting one. Tariffs supposedly pay for it, but insiders say the money came from a housing supplement already approved by Congress. So it's basically moving money from one pocket to another pocket while yelling, "America," loudly enough to distract everyone. Segment 5. Trump accounts, baby's first stock portfolio. Then we've got these new Trump accounts, which are like IRAs for kids but locked into U.S. stocks. Kids born during the 2025 to 2028 pilot are getting $1,000 in seed money. Meanwhile, Michael and Susan Dell are tossing in $250 for millions of kids like they're Oprah in a tech billionaire Santa costume. Rednecks everywhere are confused because we thought only livestock got seed money. And I just know some poor rural dad is going to try to withdraw the money early to buy a new carburetor and then be shocked when the IRS hits him with a 10% tax for premature extraction. Buddy, same. Segment 6. The Presidential Walk of Fame. Petty on bronze. Now we got to talk about the Presidential Walk of Fame, which is basically the Hall of Presidents if it were redesigned by your uncle who gets banned from Facebook twice a year. These bronze plaques are just Trump subtweeting past presidents with metallurgy. Biden gets mocked, Obama gets roasted, even George W. Bush caught a stray. Ain't nobody safe. It's less a walk of fame and more a walk of grievances. Rednecks are impressed, though, because nothing says presidential legacy like a bronze plaque calling somebody Sleepy Joe. And the auto pen portrait? That's pettier than a small-town mayoral election. Segment 7. Immigration chaos and the sudden Thanos snap of visa programs. Immigration took a wild turn when the diversity visa program got suspended after the tragic shootings at Brown and MIT. Rednecks understand the urge to tighten things up, but also wonder why the government acts like immigration programs are light switches. Just flip them on and off whenever politics get spicy. The exit bonus for self-deportation has been raised to $3,000, meaning undocumented folks are now being paid more to leave the country than I made one summer working at a catfish farm. Meanwhile, the Trump Gold Card is out here selling permanent residency like it's the VIP tier at a concert. $1 million gets you backstage access to America, apparently. Segment 8. San Francisco's power goes out and the robots panic. California decided to audition for the next apocalypse movie. The lights went out for 130,000 people after a PG&E substation caught fire. Waymo robot cars got stranded in the middle of intersections like confused Roombas, which is hilarious until you realize someone probably had to shove them manually like stubborn livestock. BART shut down, the Nutcracker got canceled, and the entire northern half of the city turned into a four-way stop free-for-all. Rednecks call that Thursday, but the flooding up in Redding is deadly serious, and more storms are coming. America is juggling crises like a drunk uncle juggling beer cans, badly and with predictable disaster. Segment 9. Science is out here. Speedrunning the future. While the country collapses in slow motion, scientists are having the most productive December in history. Yale developed an AI system that combines natural language processing with genetic data to predict disease risk. MIT finally synthesized a compound that took 50 years to crack. Japan says eating full-fat cheese might help prevent dementia, which is great news because rednecks already treat cheese like a basic food group. They also discovered that sperm mutations increase faster than expected as men age, which every redneck grandpa with 6 kids by 4 different women could have told you. And 1 drink of fructose messes with your immune system immediately. So Mountain Dew-loving folks are now realizing they've been building their bodies out of pure spite and destiny. Segment 10. DOJ redactions, suspicious photos, and a whole lot of censor markers. The Department of Justice finally released files related to a certain infamous case. And let me tell you, the redactions were so heavy, the documents looked like they'd been censored by a black Sharpie with anger issues. Then a photo briefly disappeared from the database, got reviewed, and came back online, causing lawmakers from both parties to yell at the DOJ like parents scolding a toddler who keeps touching the stove. Rednecks everywhere know exactly what this is. That classic, "we cleaned our room, mama" energy, where all the mess is just shoved under the bed. Ain't fooling nobody. In conclusion, Today's news proves America is that cousin who swears they're getting their life together, but also just bought a flamethrower on Amazon. We got rebranded War departments, runaway tankers, billion-dollar bills, blackout robots, cheese that cures dementia, and football teams that are somehow both elite and terrible at the same time. Stay safe, stay informed, and stay poorly educated. We'll see y'all next time.